Hey guys, and welcome to This Week in Awesome, I believe, is what we called it. As well as kind of just a video where I want to talk about some stuff. But, of course, we will be talking about the thing that I want to talk about, the main subject matter, at the end of the video, just in case you don't care. But, yes, this whole series was me being like, hey, sometimes I feel like I don't know what to watch or what is really good, and it's hard to, with the amount of stuff that people upload to YouTube and to the internet at large, like Netflix or whatever. What is good? And it's so painfully hard to find things that are good, or at least good to me. And if you guys watch me and you have the same sense of humor as me, then maybe you care to watch them as well. Now, the first thing that I'm going to, oh man, I really hope you guys watch this. Out of all the things that I hope you guys give me like a chance on, watch this fucking comedian, because man, Netflix has been doing really good lately, at least for me, in terms of stuff that I like. But yes, go watch this comedian called, now this is the part of the video where I have to pause and find it, because I'm just so horrible with names. Daniel SLOSS. I'll leave the name, and you just copy paste into Netflix's search, but oh my god, it's both, to me it reminds me of like Bo Burnham's kind of like general performance of, like, it just means more, like there's some comedy sets that are funny and there's a person shooting the shit trying to make you laugh, which is great, but then there are other ones which to me personally seem like they're more like structured, like this person's been clearly working on this thing for like an impossible amount of time to make it all equally come into play in a smart way at the end. And his first one, and again, it's to me personally, it's like a notch above some other comedy specials and shows. I really liked it. I thought both. There's two, and there's both an hour piece. The first one was great for a twist of a reason, and then the second one was great for an idea or a looking inward into a person's thought pattern in terms of relationships. But I would highly suggest watching them. I think they're just, he's one of my favorite comedians after watching it. Like, just amazing. Everything about it, loved it to pieces. Definitely go watch it, especially if you like stand-up. That's another thing I wanted to talk about at large, where I feel like a lot of times for me personally, I get so caught up in whatever I'm doing, and I forget to do things that are specifically like almost only ever happy and good and makes you feel all fuzzy inside and all those things. Like, again, I play Let It Die, which is a grindy game, and it's all about crushing your balls. And then I also edit my face off, which is just me seeing myself do all these things in video games. It's a bit draining. And then I go work, and then etc. There's just like, there's nothing like doing something that's specifically for happiness, or something that has the byproduct of most likely making you happy, laugh, or something like that. And to me, sometimes you don't even think you need it, but then you do it, and you're like, man, that was just great. And you're thinking about the jokes the whole day, and you're just in a happier mood. Yeah, do things that make you happy. Just make sure you do that, even if you're caught up with other things. But yeah, go watch that if you haven't already, which I think a lot of you guys have. It's up there for like, it's been trending for like 2 months now. But anyways, I'm special and I'm a hipster, clearly. The next thing, since we're on kind of long-form TV show kind of things, is I mentioned this in Let It Die, of course, because I talk about whatever's on my mind always. But there's this anime that I don't know if it would be okay, so there's some, even above anime, there's TV shows that it's kind of like you don't know if maybe your friend or someone would be interested in it, right? So you're trying to like kind of gauge, is this too much? Do they not really have dark humor, and this show is filled with it, so probably not that. Don't want to give them that, they probably wouldn't enjoy it. You're trying to gauge what someone enjoys. Anime is that times 10, because there's a lot of other things, and I think it's honestly awesome. Those guys who don't know about anime that much, Japanese people, or just people over there, got such a lock on like 3 things that will like guarantee something selling well in terms of storytelling, and then they approach it from the other side of the spectrum, or at least this is an insider's perception of it. There's these 3 things that you need to have in your manga, in your TV show, anime, whatever, in order for them to sell well. But above those 3 things, you can do whatever you want. You can tell whatever bonkers story you want. Of course, those 3 things are typically like, oh, you need sex appeal because our current population is, you know, it's not fucking each other. Anyways, you also need a main person, typically a female of certain statures, so that they can make paraphernalia, which can be sold really well, so that ensures your success because that can be sold. And it's just like, that's a big list of things, like where like you can have this, and as long as you have those things, you're okay. Like, you can tell whatever story you want, you know what I mean? I think that's kind of one of the best things about anime, is that there's always like these Dragon Ball Z crazy moments where you're like, what? But after a certain while, you're like, yes, more of this, like My Hero Academia or something. My Hero is a special case because they're killing it. Whoever's making that series is too good at making anything. It leads us to having some amazing shows, but it also leads to the people that enjoy those shows kind of throughout the process of watching a lot of anime kind of getting desensitized to certain tropes. And when you introduce an anime because you like the story or something, and then the one of the check boxes that you need to have in the show in order for it to sell well is there, and someone who doesn't watch anime watches it and they're like, dude, yuck. And I'm like, what? No, it's actually a compelling story outside of the whole, you know, oops, I fell on your boobs kind of thing. Let me tell you. Okay, moving on. Anyways, this is the moral conundrum for people who like anime, such as myself, who I find the whole weirdness of that just funny because it's so absurd. But it makes introducing anime to people a fine science, which is, I've gotten quite good at it, but that's just me prefacing you when I introduce this one. And to be fair, this one is not that bad. It's not too in the pervy zone, although kinda. Not really. It's Overlord. This anime to me is really interesting and weird. It's definitely one of those shows that kind of goes a little bit above. And then again, it's made by Madhouse. But anyways, it kind of goes a bit deeper into just a basic plot, boom, boom, boom. It seems to have a lot more care into like what things are going to become, and it's not just like, all right, well, you're God here, go fuck the world up. All right, cool, peace, bye. It's not like that kind of story, which One Punch Man kind of was, except not really. It had a lot more undertone things. Now, I may be getting a little ahead of myself. So what is Overlord? What is the premise of the show, and why is it awesome and interesting? Well, the main premise is actually really cool, and it sounds less cool when I say it, but it's executed extremely well. Like, this show is on, to me, a kind of similar level to My Hero, except a little bit less in terms of the emotional aspect and more in terms of the structural soundness of each season. Anyway, sorry. The main premise of the show is that we're way in the future, and there's this video game. And this video game is like the be-all end-all video game. You can code in special characters and stuff like that. And essentially, there's this person that has been playing the video game for a long, long time. In fact, I think he was the big baddie, like the best player or the best whatever. He had the best guild in the entire video game. Now, he really likes this game, but of course, as things happen, life goes on. The people in his guild kind of departed. Now, he waits around, and he kept everything shiny because to him it meant a lot more than just a video game. It was like friends coming together, and I'm sure you guys all know that feeling, especially if you ever really dug into a cooperative game, how like you have these memories of you doing these cool things with one another. Anyways, so he keeps the guild real tidy, basically. And the game's about to shut off. Its servers are going down. This is the last day to be on, and of course he's there waiting, just kind of being like, all right, just kind of like reminiscing. And then, of course, the servers shut down. And then the premise is that this person that's been playing the game gets thrown into the video game, this guild that he's been making his entire life. It's not really a guild. It kind of is, but it's like a guild that was on steroids and decided to make a goddamn empire. And yeah. So yes, this show with that premise is very much like watching. It's like it has the same tone of One Punch Man, except, and if you guys don't know what One Punch Man is, basically the main character is like God. The main character is like impossibly strong. Now, I know that's pretty hard to execute on, but it's done really well. It's not like a Superman thing where it's like, I'm Superman, nothing can kill me beside a rock. No, it's actually done in a really smart way. And that to me is like, for an example, one of the characters that this guy played, or not one of the characters, the character that this guy played in the game was an undead. Which to me offers a really cool counterpoint to some of the things that exist within the show. So for instance, whenever the main character starts getting thrown emotionally in one direction, happiness, anger, sadness, lust, whatever it is, undead kind of neutrals him out, because undead are supposed to be like very calm and kind of like not emotional things, right? So, but this also leads to him to being like kind of unremorseful for doing somewhat bad things. And that's another thing. The show is not inherently good, or the main character is not inherently good. He tries to be, but he has no empathy. He's almost a sociopath. Sorry. But there's a lot more going on there. I know. I'm sorry. Just one-off comment about the times right now. Anyway, sorry. So again, for instance, in terms of like story cleverness, that could have easily been done of like, okay, well the main character is an undead. It doesn't matter. We just wanted to have a skeleton for a main character. Whatever, sure. But instead they're like, no, the reason why he is an undead is crucially important to the entire story I'm telling. And the reason why that is because, like I therefore mentioned, especially in the second episode, I believe, it gets a bit, well, because he is this, guild master, and he's like this overlord, it's kind of the whole show name, he's this overlord. He and his friends who are in the guild made these godly NPCs, but they're all different in various ways. Now, fast forwarding a little bit, don't want to spoil too many things, the NPCs look really kindly upon him. The males are like, he's fucking the best. He's the most badass person ever. And they're each really creative and different, which is really cool because a lot of the people in the guild were really obsessed with like making unique things. Anyway, sorry. But some of the female characters, because he's the overlord and he's like fucking just got insane power. In the second episode, there's maybe a wet comment thrown around. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. It was something that happened, and we move on. And then there's also, like, waifu of that year called Albedo, who's like a weird succubus mixture of whatever the hell. But she is in love with the main character. But, again, some people might be like, this is turning in cringy. But it's actually not, because the way that they handle it is just clever. Because he is an undead, he cannot feel any sort of thing, right? So if she's putting like, she's trying to tell him how much she loves him or whatever, he kind of is just like, because he's undead. Or if she's trying to, push on to him or anything like that, again, it's settled by that one mechanic that is so cleverly put there. And yeah, I can't explain the show enough just saying that it's clever. It's really clever. My only gripe is the second season does have like 4 episodes. Like the first 4 episodes are more or less not necessary. That's my only real gripe with the series, is that, like, yeah, I'm not sure if you guys feel me on that, those of you who have watched the show. The first 4 episodes of season 2 are like not needed to me, at least. I thought I was watching them just because I appreciate the main character so much, but I genuinely was like, oh, I didn't need to watch any of those, and I actually wish I didn't, because they're really not that interesting. Yeah, it's a side plot. Sometimes anime does that, where they're like, here's some random other characters. But then again, I kind of get why they do that, because they're trying to show you different perspectives of him, this like omnipotent fucking godly character. But yeah, that's the premise. Dude gets pulled into the video game that he's been grinding for 10 years, or not 10 years, but just a long time. He has all his fucking powerful NPCs, but he doesn't really have anything crazy going on in terms of like him wanting stuff, because he's an undead, so they kind of are neutral to most things. So that's kind of why he just kind of sits atop his throne and tries to make his reach slightly better. But he's not like, I need to become the ruler now. That's not what he's exactly driven by. He's more driven by like, I gotta keep what I have safe and also make sure I can sustain myself. And then throughout the series, it starts getting more. Now, I always do this. Hopefully, guys will be patient with me. If you guys do decide to watch it, do me a solid and try to make it to the, I think it's 5th episode. Maybe it's the 4th or 3rd. You guys have to tell me in the comments. But try to make it to the episode where he becomes the Raven, the armored clad Raven. You guys will know what I'm talking about. But that's when the show kind of like opens up to a more like less clever storytelling and more like, oh shit, here's some anime levels of like, oh, this guy's fucking wrecking people. Hell yeah. And I don't know, the more I think about the show, the more I think about how endlessly clever it is. Especially with, again, the way they handle his power and stuff like that is really cool, because it's not like One Punch Man where he's basically just like a person that has no drive but has all the strength in the world, whereas this character is more just, again, he's clever, so that's also why he was such a good guild leader and stuff like that. Anyways, don't mean to get into it, but I'm really enjoying it. I haven't made it to season 3 yet, but I just finished season 2, and oh boy, so good, so good. My favorite out of all of his underlings, Albedo's pretty great, but my main favorite is goddamn Butler Man. You guys will see if you watch season 2, dude. Again, don't feel any shame in skipping those 4 episodes, because it's real trash. Anyways, moving on to songs. Now, one of these songs, sure, it'll be the first one, I will say, is bordering on edgelord, okay? And I can't help it. We all went through that phase, and in that little part of me that went through that phase when you're a teenager, it's still kind of there when it comes to music, okay? I don't want to talk about it, but it's there. But also just like the rhythm of it, but it's called, the first song that I would like you guys to check out is linked in the description down below, but it's called Papa Roach, Help. That's the artist, Papa Roach, I assume, and then Help is a song. But its hook is I need someone's help, basically. And again, it's bordering on like, oh, dude's fucking real edgy. Actually, it's not really edgy. It's more like sad and sorrow a little bit. But it's not like, it's not exactly the reason why I'm telling you guys to watch it. Yeah, I'm doing good. So not like I'm trying to fucking passively show you guys something here, but I enjoyed it. Again, if you guys are like me and you got that little tiny thing in your head that's like, yeah, yeah. Then the next one is a little bit more, well, I don't know if it's more upbeat. I can't help it, dude. Sometimes I'm into like really poppy music. I like all music, not even really country that much. I can get behind some country, but anyways, mainly I just like a lot of things. So my tastes differ. This week was a nice gloomy, fucking really like chill week, and these songs I liked it. Check them out if you want. If you just want to test out some new songs, see if you like them, go watch them. We may not have the same taste. That's perfectly fine as well. But the next one, sorry, the other one I'm talking about is Echo's Saint, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have heard because it's been on every music channel that's out. Yeah, yeah. Now, the main point of the video. I could double dip and make 2 videos, but I'm not because fuck it. But recently, I'm not sure if you guys heard, I am mad hyped about this, and it's funny because it was kind of weird because I feel like if I were to tell you that this game was being developed, you'd kind of have not the same reaction as I did, because you'd be like, okay, why? But sure. And that game is of course Harry Potter. They're making a Harry Potter game. Now I know, again, like I said, some people are like, what? Well, I mean, like, yeah, I played one on like the PS2 or something. It was okay. I mean, like, yeah, that was like, it was kind of janky looking back on it. Yeah, I don't know, like, what? What are you talking about? But there was a leaked gameplay trailer that I happened to watch, and it actually looks pretty badass. It's done, again, we'll talk about it, but you can make your own character, you can go to fucking Hogwarts. It's like the gameplay and the quality, at least from what I've seen in the leaked trailer kind of thing, looked like it was on par with Shadow of Mordor, or Shadow of War, like that kind of like really good graphics, passable, you know, and it seems like it's in, I think it's not going to be a MOBA, or not a MOBA, sorry, an MMO, an open world, whatever, a multi-shared universe thing. I do think it most likely would be like 4 players. It'd make more sense if it was 3. 3 players, and you could like fuck around and go to classes and do all this stuff. So it's basically like an open world Harry Potter. We're going to Hogwarts, wait for it, all the way back in like, way back in the day when like I think swords and shit were still a thing. And the one thing that's really cool about that is a long time ago on Reddit, someone made like a Harry Potter thread talking about how cool it would be in the Harry Potter universe. The Black Plague was basically just a cover-up for like dark wizards coming into existence and just fucking shit up, and like this huge war. I think the author of Harry Potter was gonna like retweeted it and thought that'd be a really cool idea, and this may be where that game takes place, which would be really cool because to me, and again, there's combat in the game. The thing that to me makes this game, like makes it or breaks it, is there going to be an M rating on it? Is it gonna be an actual like, oh, I'm fucking shit up, or is it gonna be like, oh, okay, and he went to sleep, he just kind of just over on the ground, just kind of taking a nap, because yeah, maybe you only can do stuff with Avada Kedavra or whatever, or maybe there's not like very, you know, it's very kid friendly. Like that to me would ruin it, because especially I feel like with so many people who have played Harry Potter and like just like the movies, the people have grown up with them, we deserve a game that it doesn't treat us like children, you know, it isn't like, oh, they're taking naps. Oh no, you need to use Avada Kedavra to kill someone. It's like, well, no, I just want to like have visceral combat. I want to like hit someone with a fucking spell and then launch them across the room, some shit like that. I want to turn to fucking mist and then start fucking punching someone in the face or something, you know? I want to go get a fucking bird and ride that shit, because fuck you. That's why. I want to go to class and learn how to make fucking potions and then throw a potion on the ground and like melt some dude's face off. Probably won't happen because that'd be a bit graphic, but hey, I don't know, make him like topple to the ground and just like, you know, sit there for a long time. Something. I just don't want it to be like, good job, Harry, or random Hogwarts person. Here's a star. But I also heard something that was really, really interesting, which someone said that it'd be a really cool idea if in the game you went through all of your, I think it's 8 years of Hogwarts. If you're not a Harry Potter fan, I'm sorry. I grew up with them. I love them to pieces. I have not read the books, but I still love the movies, and I really enjoyed Fantastic Beasts, even more than some of the older Harry Potter movies. I know you hate me, but hey. Anyways. Someone said that it'd be a really cool thing if you were able to go through your 8 years of Hogwarts, and of course, as you mature, things get a little more serious. You know, things, when you get to like your 4th or 5th year, things start being like, oh yeah, no, you're in war. You gotta fight people. You can't just like, you're not like in this little guppy class where you're taking care of your little bird or whatever. But in the game, I think it is all but confirmed that we are going to be starting at the 5th year, so there's 4 years to complete, I believe, or something like that. I don't know what it is. But yeah, we apparently we have a latent gift for magic or something. That's the way that I heard in the leak that this person was talking about like what the story is. Anyways, a person finds you and they see that you have a latent magical power, gift, whatever, so then they bring you in for your last 4 years of Hogwarts, which to me, again, incentivizes the, oh, okay, this may be in a mature game, this may be where you're actually fighting people and not like, oh, Harry, there's the flying wisp. Kill the wisp. I'm like, oh shit. But no, dude, that'd be awesome, especially with the gameplay that, again, if you see the gameplay and you see the character creator and then like the person walking around Hogwarts and there's like super vibrant colors and if it is able to capture that aesthetic of Harry Potter, I think I'd be so fucking into it. But again, I think it would have to be made for like at least a more mature audience. I hope it's not like, it can't be R-rated. You know, I'm not expecting like a Vatican-dabbering everyone and murdering him, but I am expecting, again, more than fighting like a pumpkin come to life and you're hitting a plant, you know? Also, again, what I heard what it was supposed to be is it's supposed to be like an open world Harry Potter game where you're going through your 4 years of Hogwarts, and I think there's gonna be some like bad shit going on. Again, maybe that Black Plague thing is going to come into fruition. I hope that'd be great. But yeah, let me know. I asked this on Discord, but I think that'd be fucking sweet. Again, if you hear it in the passing and you're like, dude, this just sounds like, why? Why are they making this game? If you watch the trailer, I think it was pretty cool. Maybe it's just me though. Anyways, it is confirmed, by the way, that it is in development and things like that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, my name is Logan and/or Frost and/or Grin. Those were the things that I wanted to tell you about. The things that I thought were cool and interesting and worth your time of day. Again, the comedian, Overlord, the songs, bordering one on edgelord, and I just want to talk your ear off about Harry Potter and the way I think they could do it, and I think it'd be great, especially with what I've seen. But again, I hope the battles and stuff are not just the worst and most non-threatening thing ever, you know? Again, thank you for supporting the channel. Subscribe button above me, 2 videos to my right. Thank you so much, and goodbye.